Hey everyone, Robert here, author of Expansion Mastery, the practical guide to living a fully engaged life. Are you ready to start living your life to the fullest? Is it even possible to live fully engaged in a time that is filled with fear and chaos due to this coronavirus? That's what we'll be taking a look at today. So welcome to The Fully Engaged Life. Ed, can I have some podcast playing music, please? Welcome back to the show, everyone. Yes, in that introduction, there was a little humor, actually a little inside joke that should be helping my wife to smile right now, and that was the purpose. I don't even have to wonder. I know she got the joke, and let me tell you, that smile lights up my life. I love you, honey. Okay, now, I know that this COVID-19 virus is frightening, and yes, it's real, but as we're seeing right now, it's beginning to come out that the original estimates, the numbers of infected and possible deaths, was incredibly overblown. And I hope that offers you a little bit of comfort. That's the purpose of today's show. I think we could all use a little relaxation, something to smile about, maybe even laugh a little bit, and a reminder that even in the midst of fear and chaos, we can still enjoy a fully engaged life. Every moment of your life is precious. Don't surrender a single second of it to fear. So I'm going to begin with a question, because I'm curious about this. If you have a small child and they refuse to sleep during their nap time, are they then guilty of resisting a rest? I can't help but wonder. Oh, come on. You got to have some humor, especially because there's so many of you stuck home right now with your children. All right, so let's get serious. I did want to tell you about a book that I'm reading, though, and it's an anti-gravity book. It's pretty awesome. But this thing is impossible to put down. All right, come on. It's okay to smile, people. It's okay to smile. I just want to help raise your vibrational frequency a little bit. And I have to give a shout out to boredpanda.com for posting a bunch of funny dad jokes like that. So, with any luck, that caused you to at least smile a little bit, maybe brightened your day for just a moment, and hopefully raised your vibrational frequency for just a few moments, because that alone should give you a sense of tremendous relief. All right, now we're going to get serious for a moment here, and this time I mean it, although some of the things I'm going to share, it may even sound more ridiculous than those dad jokes. But this is the world in which we live right now. So I'm going to share some things with you, a little bit of information, and then you can decide what to do with that information. Remember, think for yourselves. And then what I'm going to do is offer you some options for keeping yourself physically and mentally healthy during this quarantine or lockdown or whatever you may be facing in your area right now. Likewise, I'll share some things that my wife and I are doing, and you can then decide for yourself what works best for you and your life. Okay, so as far as COVID-19, yes, it's real. Yes, it's out there. But as we're seeing the numbers have been greatly exaggerated, and there is a tremendous amount of fear-mongering and propaganda being perpetuated by mainstream media. It's in the magazines, newspapers, television, internet, everywhere. And believe me, I know it's hard to escape. And if you're like many people, you're not sure what to believe. And this is why I encourage everyone to think for themselves. So we have to take this seriously and act responsibly. But we don't have to surrender to the hysteria that is being forced upon us. We have a choice. We can do our own research and go around all of the mainstream propaganda machines. We can look to better sources. So one of the things that I find, and you can agree or disagree, it's up to you, that's fine, but I find this virus is real, although not near as bad as what they say, and there's a lot of nationwide evidence to support that at this time. And that is fantastic news. But what I encourage everyone to do is take a look at the bigger picture and understand what is truly happening right now. One, we have a worldwide economic collapse. And all you have to do is look at the stock market and you can see the incredible struggle that's going on there. And research the unprecedented lengths at which the Fed is going to in order to keep this propped up. And then, of course, there's this heated war, not with shots fired. They're calling it a silent war. But there is a war that is going on between two factions of government. And this is worldwide. But I think the epicenter of this is the United States. And there is a war between the globalist faction of government and the nationalist faction of government. And this war is very easy to see, and it is heated up right now. If you take time to look beyond the distractions and the illusions, this becomes very evident. And just to make myself clear here, I do not like conspiracy theories. However, we do have to acknowledge it when they are conspiracy facts. And I'm going to borrow a term from someone I think is an incredibly intelligent person, Gerald Celente, and he calls himself a political atheist. I subscribe to that camp. I myself am a political atheist. I do not like politics at all, any type of politics. However, we have to acknowledge that politics are part of our world, so we can't ignore them, we can't hide from them. However, we can prevent ourselves from getting caught up in them. One of the reasons is because when you choose a side of politics, you have created one more way in which your ego is going to increase your sense of identity and thereby strengthen its hold on your mind. So please understand that when I share this sort of information. I'm not in anyone's camp. I'm a seeker of truth. I like to see reality, the truth of what is behind the veil, and that's it. Other than that, I don't care about it at all. Right now, we are already having certain states and counties resisting upcoming federal mandates in order to fulfill their own agendas. And in so doing, they're willing to hold the entire population and economy of these states hostage. Make no mistake, that is what's taking place. Now, that doesn't mean we shouldn't take precautions and stay healthy and stop the spread of this virus. We certainly should. But at a certain point, this virus will pass. And then it's up to us to see the truth of what is taking place. I, for one, refuse to live the next 18 months as a political prisoner. I mean, just look at the damage that is being done to many of the minds of people out there right now. I'm hearing terms such as quarantine envy. Can you imagine such a thing? Now people are becoming envious of those who are quarantined and self-quarantining themselves, trying to get free stimulus money and just get out of work so they can lay around on their couch and binge on Netflix all day. And then I'm even hearing that we have virus envy. There are people that are envious of those that actually have the virus because they're so addicted to the drama. They want to be part of it all. Does that sound like a healthy, rational state of mind to you? I feel so bad for these people who are falling victim to this. I truly do. It breaks my heart. And those who are most addicted to the drama because of the ego are most susceptible to this sort of thing. And it's really incredible to observe right now because we seem to be living in this bipolar society where we have a lot of people who are just so addicted to the drama that they see the situation and believe the situation is far more dire than it actually is. And then we have other people on the other side who are a little more rational, not so addicted to drama, and they are painting a very different picture of what's going on, something much less dire. And their information seems to match the actual statistics that are really being recorded, not necessarily those that are being given to us through the media that have been bloated in order to benefit from these multi-billion and trillion-dollar relief plans. So that leaves us with this conundrum of who do we believe? And the answer is simple. Those who are still controlled by their ego will gravitate towards those who are generating the most drama. And those who are not addicted to the drama will have a tendency, naturally, to gravitate towards those who are seeing what is actually going on and reporting it accurately. And it's this sort of thing that gives us this unsettled feeling that the population is living in two different, totally diametrically opposite dimensions at the same time. So this is what I'm observing, at least in the Bay Area and Northern California, at this particular moment in time. And if anything were to change, I would share the truth of that with you, because I'm not invested in any particular outcome or agenda, just what actually is. Okay, so all that said, we're stuck inside, we're quarantined, locked down, going stir crazy and bored out of our minds. Well, the first thing I would share is this. If you have attained a state of actual mindfulness, you don't get bored. You don't go stir crazy. You are able to accept the situation for what it is, and there are so many interests in things that you are working on, especially in regards to yourself and your own spiritual expansion, that you have more than enough things to do to keep you busy. You have no problem occupying yourself. But what are some important points to focus on while we are stuck in our homes? Well, the first thing I would say is avoid binge watching Netflix, news channels, and other stuff. There is nothing about that is healthy for your mind. Don't allow yourself to become mentally lazy. And make sure to give yourself time where you step away from all of the hysteria of the virus. Step away from the drama and the hysteria, even if it's just for an hour or two. Give yourself that kind of relief. It'll be very beneficial to your mental health. Turn the news off, put your phone down, and tell those friends and family members who are calling and carrying on, spreading the drama and the panic, that you don't want to hear it. It's that simple. Take the time to research for yourself what is going on and take a look at the bigger picture. I supplied you with a couple very crucial points, but don't take my word for any of that. Do your own research and look for credible sources. CNN is not a credible source. Take the time to read instead of watching something. Get a book, sit down, relax, and read. Reading is so much more relaxing than writing something. My wife and I, in the evenings, we pull out a couple of books and have a fire and get cozy and just relax and read. We also take the time to meditate and do meditative practices. See, these are all ways to maintain a healthy mind as well as continue to expand our sense of spirituality. And in regards to that, keep a routine of sorts. Whatever that happens to be for you, keep a routine. And I think this is important for children as well. They need the structure. We all need the structure to some degree. Physically, we still work out. We're eating well. We're not buying fake garbage. We're not using this as an excuse to indulge in processed fake junk foods. Okay? That's not necessary. We're eating very fresh foods that the store has been fully stocked on through this whole event. We work to keep our immune system strong. You know, you have to understand that you really can't get sick if your immune system is strong. It's that simple. So we take a good amount of vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, and some other immune boosting supplements. You do what's right for you. I'm not a doctor, and I'm not telling you what to take. I'm telling you what we're doing. And so far, my wife and I are both perfectly healthy. Do some breathing exercises as well. There are a lot of great breathing practices, and I've shared many authentic breathing practices with you in various episodes of this podcast. Go back in the history, check them out. And why breathing practices? Because it helps increase your lung capacity, your ability to breathe. Remember that this COVID-19 is a respiratory type of illness. It is a type of respiratory pneumonia. That's what it is. So if you increase the stamina and strength of your respiratory system and keep that healthy, that goes in your favor as well, doesn't it? And I'm not saying any of this will guarantee you don't get it. I'm not saying any of this is a cure. I'm saying these are things that we're doing to protect our health, our well-being, our immune system. Within your routine, you should still be working out. My wife and I are stretching, still working on the Bowflex, kettlebells. There's so many things you can do at home. We're still practicing martial arts. We just bought 100 tatame omote, the straw mats that we use in swordsmanship for tameshigiri. And what that is where you do test cutting. You use a live blade and you test the rolled mats, and we soak the mats in water overnight, and this gives them a more realistic density. But this is a great opportunity to spend more time training, doing the things we love to do. I've been doing Qigong out on my deck every morning, getting some sunshine, another source of vitamin D, and some fresh air, and performing types of Qigong that are known to boost your immune system, to be very good for you. It's fantastic. I mean, do your yoga, do Tai Chi, do something, do a physical activity that is beneficial for you, something you enjoy and something that is capable of giving you the benefits that you need, especially at this moment in time. And don't just wash your hands. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying don't wash your hands. I'm saying don't just wash your hands. Yes, wash your hands. But make sure you're keeping the rest of your body clean too. I'm hearing that so many people are just laying around on the couch all day and sleeping and eating junk food, and they're not showering. They'll wash their hands, but they're not showering. Get in there and take a shower, you nasty. Seriously, though. And keep your home clean as well. Do you honestly think it's going to do any good to wash your hands and avoid touching your face when the environment in which you live is a mess? And let's face it, if you are quarantined, you have more than enough time to clean it up. And here's a few other things you can do. Obviously, keeping your heart open and your vibration up are absolutely imperative. Do not sacrifice those aspects of your humanity. Do not surrender them to the fear. Keep a sense of humor. Tell some jokes. Watch something funny if you want to watch something. Watch something that's funny. Watch something that's going to make you laugh. Text, call, FaceTime, do something with friends and relatives to help bring their vibration up as well. Give them a little relief. When your vibration is high, you have relief from the fear. I even spent a little time yesterday afternoon FaceTiming with 3 of my grandsons, all of whom took turns giving me a thorough thrashing in Yu-Gi-Oh! And it was fantastic. I know they're apprehensive and a little fearful about what's going on. It's natural. Children can't understand this like adults can. So I called them, we FaceTimed, and we played some Yu-Gi-Oh! And I cracked jokes, and I got them laughing, and I showed them outside on the deck. I showed them the mountain and things like that, just to get their minds off things for a while and allow them to feel good, to have a little relief. Think about what you could be doing to your children if you're running around in a state of panic and hysteria all the time over this virus. They pick up on that sort of thing. If you're the one calling everyone and talking about it and dwelling on it, even if they can't really understand the words you're saying, they can feel your vibration, and your vibration is in the tank. So be careful. Be careful with your children. They didn't ask for this, and they don't deserve to carry the burden of it. Do what you can to lift them up, to make them feel happy, to do things with them that are mentally and physically beneficial to their well-being. Remember that during this time, it's okay to still be happy. It's okay to still be joyful. I find sometimes people feel guilty. They take on the guilt of this thing. You did nothing wrong. You don't need to feel that way. It's okay to be happy. I'm happy. I'm having a great time. My wife and I are barely affected by this by our schedules. We're both still working. We're doing everything that we usually do. We usually don't go out all week long anyway. We cook at home. We have great meals. Still doing exactly that. You throw a little something on the grill or whatever you want to do. Spend even just a little more time together. The only way we are being impacted by this at this moment in time is we like to go out for a nice dinner on Friday evening. Well, we can't do that, but we can either get delivery or we can go pick something up. We can still get some really great food. Pick it up curbside, we just eat it at home. No big deal. And that's a wonderful segue to something else that you can do. If you need to focus your energy, your mental energy, in a more positive direction, you can do so by finding ways to support your local businesses, charities, and your community overall. My wife and I, even though we go to the grocery store and get fresh foods to have for meals, we have been trying to eat delivery once or twice a week, a little extra, even if it's just something for a lunch, because we're trying to support those local businesses, those places that we love to frequent in our area. So we're trying to throw a little business their way and do what we can to help them during this time. We're making sure that if our neighbors need anything, they know they can come and ask, and we will help them out however we can. See, there's so many things we can do right now. What's one thing that you always wanted to do that you never had the time to do? Well, right now you might have that time. What are you waiting for? Why throw it away and waste it because you're afraid? Take advantage of it. Make the most of it. Enjoy your life. We're going to make it through this. And we just might come out the other side, which will probably be, at least with what I'm seeing at this point in time, a little sooner than later. But we have the opportunity to come through this as more compassionate people, a more compassionate society, more connecting and more loving of one another. That's one good thing that could come out of all of this. I know last week when my wife and I were at the supermarket, people were especially courteous. And we did our best to offer smiles to people, say hello, try to share a little bit of a higher vibration with them. And hopefully, they were able to leave that store feeling a little better than when they came in. I know it's tough. I know there's a lot of individuals and businesses that are hurting financially because of this. And I know that causes a lot of fear and uneasiness as well. And believe me, I feel for you. I really do. But stay strong, my friends. We will get through this together. This is just one more reason why I stress the importance of having a warrior spirit. This inner strength comes in handy in times like these as well. Okay, I hope some of those ideas help you. I hope they can make your quarantine lockdown experience a little less frightening and frustrating and help you find a little bit of purpose in this uncertain time. And maybe, just maybe, once this is all over, we will be able to appreciate one another and the world a little more than we did before this happened. So stay strong, be well, and know that I support you and I love you. And for right now, if you should be so inclined to visit me at www.expansionmastery.com, just go there and read the blogs. Don't worry about the books and that stuff. Just read the blogs. Or if you're setting okay and you want to purchase some reading material, I have some great things available for you there at the website. But otherwise, I've got a lot of blog articles that are free. I just posted a new one recently, and I hope that it offers you some enjoyment and insight. Until next time, my friends, I wish you the very best of luck during this quarantine. I wish you all the best in your practices and your life. Take care.